This is part two of the rural urban wage gap. Hence rural urban, it's known the level of urban employment and wage. What will be the wage in the urban sector? And assume that marginal productivity of labor in the rural sector is constant, since wage equals to marginal product in the rural sector wage rate WR, it's constant. So from our objective is to find out the rural sector wage rate, urban sector wage rate, labor of the rural sector and labor of the urban sector. So here rural sector wage rate is denoted by WR, that is equal to W into LM divided by L minus LR. So we can show that WR is rural sector wage rate, W is urban sector wage rate, and LM it's labor of the urban sector. L is total labor, rural sector and urban sector. LR it's rural sector labor. LM is urban sector labor. Urban sector labor means how much labor will involve of the production in the urban sector. LR is how much labor will be involved in the rural sector for the production. So then find out L is the total available labor, and if consider that we know always that W it's greater than WR, that means urban sector wage rate is always higher than the rural sector wage rate. And if somehow W is greater than or equal to WR, then we can say that LR will be L. That means if urban sector wage rate is greater than the urban sector wage rate is high compared to rural sector, then LR is equal to L. Sorry, there is a mistake. That is, if WR is greater than W, then this condition will hold. Rural sector wage rate is higher than the urban sector wage rate, then no one will uh, quit to the rural sector. That means total labor it's equal to labor in the rural sector. But if there is any condition like wage rate is greater than wage rate in the urban sector is greater than wage rate in the rural sector, there may be arise that labor of the urban sector will be higher than the rural sector labor. But if wage rate in the rural sector is higher than the wage rate of the urban sector, then total labor will be LR, and labor will work only the rural sector. So having solved from LLM, we can solve that. Our objective is to find out urban sector, what is the optimum wage of the urban sector, optimum labor will employed in the rural sector, optimum WR is the optimum wage. In this wage the labor will actually wanted to supply their their labor and optimum wage. What will be the optimum wage in this condition? What will be the optimum labor in the urban sector or industrial sector? That is denoted by LM tilde and LR tilde. Also we try to find out what will be the labor in the rural sector, optimum labor, and we will find. And if W tilde, now it's a optimum wage that is greater than WR, it's a higher than the wage rate in the rural sector, then LR, sorry, LR tilde it's less than equal to L. That means no mm, labor in the rural sector is lesser than the total labor. That means urban sector labor will higher because from that condition, because when wage is higher from the rural sector, or if a person work in the rural sector gets lower wage, and there is optimum wage which is higher, then LR tilde it's less than L, that condition will hold. And W tilde it's equilibrium wage rate. The equilibrium can consider that. Now here consider that what will be the quit rate. Quit rate depends upon the ratio of rural and urban sector wage rate. Quit rate as a function of wage of rural and urban sector. If W by WR is very high, that means W by WR is very high, that means W is greater than WR. Then we can say that this condition will be equal to 0. Then there is no quit in the urban sector because urban sector wage rate is high, so there is no quit in the urban sector. W by WR is less than theta, and the first order condition, that means here Q transpose W by WR is less than 0, and second order condition is greater than 0. First order condition is negative, and second order condition quit rate is negative when W by WR is less than theta. Here first order condition is less than 0. Suppose consider theta is a point here, so that indicate here ratio is W by WR. So we can show in a better way that W by WR is less than theta. Here consider theta WR, the wage rate, rural sector, consider theta. This is quit rate, and quit rate depends upon the ratio of W and WR. So, and we know that W by WR is less than theta. So here W is less than, from there theta into to WR. So urban wage rate is lesser if a small decrease in the wage rate of rural sector, then a increase in the small increase in the quit rate of the rural sector. If wage rate decrease from the rural sector, that increase the labor um, or increase the labor turnover from the rural sector and the second order condition is greater than 0, that means um, the quit or turnover um, curve, its turnover curve is convex. That means quit rate is fall when wage rate is quit rate is increase when wage rate is here, or wage rate decrease. This is the wage curve, or in a better way we can interpret this equation. This is total quit, this is 0, this is wage rate, and TQ depends upon the ratio W by WR. So from here, quit rate is higher when wage is W, and quit rate is more or less stable, theta WR, but quit rate is fall when wage rate is increase. That is the meaning of Q double dash is greater than 0. So W divided by WR is the ratio of wage in the urban and rural sector is less than theta. First order condition though negative, but second order condition is positive. Second order condition positive means the relation between quit rate and wage, it's a negative relation. If wage increase, quit rate fall. If quit rate increase, wage fall. There is a negative relationship between turnover rate TQ, sorry, TQ increase, wage fall, and TQ decrease, wage increase. There is a negative relationship. And first order condition, it's negative means small change in the or small decrease in the wage of the rural sector, then a small increase in the quit rate from the rural sector. From the diagram, we can show this very well, that suppose this is a two-phase diagram. Here consider urban wage, here consider rural wage, and this is the marginal productivity of rural wage, and this curve is urban marginal productivity. So this is actually shown in this diagram very clearly. Also there are some points in the horizontal axis. In the right panel, consider labor, and in the vertical axis, consider wage rate. Wage rate means wage rate of the urban sector and wage rate of the rural sector. So here, from the diagram, Uh, First, the total output. What is the total output? That is OVKD. OVKD is the total output. And total wage cost. What is the total wage cost? That is already shaded here. Wage cost. This part. Wage cost is, if you look at the diagram clearly, then you can see that OAED, it's the wage cost. And what is the quit cost? Quit cost is A E K A plus B. If we, it is diagrammatically shown that from output, what will be the profit of the farm? Our objective is to find out this. Our initial objective, profit. That means output minus wage cost minus quit cost. Our objective is this. So first find out what is total output. Total output is OVKD. What is wage cost? Wage cost is OAED. And what is quit cost? Quit cost is here the, I can also shown that. So the quit cost is AEKA plus B, and our profit is this part. This part is our profit. Profit is equal to V A plus B into K. This is our profit.